Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk about Young Living essential oils from a dog groomer's point of view. My name is Heather Henderson. I am a Young Living Platinum. I'm also known as YL Oils Rock. And I was a trained dog groomer from the New York School of Dog Grooming back in 2000. So I retired myself from that industry back in 2014. Now, I still do a little bit of grooming, but I do want to tell you about my journey. Now, I'm owned by 3 cats, 3 dogs, and a little guinea pig named Neroli. And me and a friend, Dr. Susan Albright, which you guys may know, we run a Facebook group together called Essential Oils in a Pet Home by a vet and a groomer. So I want to get this out there first. To practice medicine requires a license. To promote good health does not. I am not a medical professional. I cannot diagnose. I cannot prescribe, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases. I can, however, offer you the support and teach you how to build better health for yourself from my research and years of experience. So I highly recommend conducting your own research first. Be a well-informed advocate for your own health and the environment. And I thank you for being a part of this discussion today, because this is one step in the process. So as a groomer, whether you walk into a grooming shop or you work at a grooming shop, the first thing you notice when you walk in is the smell. So it could be one of a few things. It could be, it smells like wet dog. It could smell like a whole bunch of other things, right? We call it like Frito feet and stuff like that. But a lot of times, no matter how much a groomer tries to clean their shop or a pet owner tries to clean their house, there's always that smell, that dog smell. And we're going to address that. So when you're looking at this graphic, you see the mop, the stuff that we call bleach, and then there's that scented pine stuff that a lot of people use on their floors, thinking that they're actually going to clean their surface. And they may, but they're also a huge risk to the animals that may be in your care or your animals that live with you. So what we're going to talk about, like that little puppy down on the bottom, he's taking a walk and he may walk through some of that water that was on the floor after mopping. And I don't know if many people realize it, but when you use bleach, there's actually instructions on the back, and it actually says something about, like, it's a multiple step thing. You don't just put the bleach in the water and then you do the floors or you do your kennels or you do your tub or you do your grooming table. You need to do it a second time to remove any residue. So as a Dr. Jeff actually says, our dogs are naked and barefoot, and we have to make sure these environments are clean for them. So oftentimes what happens is when the little dogs come into your grooming shop, they're scared, or they may not recognize the place, or they may have had a bad experience at another place. So what happens when they come in, they may actually pee on something. I know we're talking an animal conference, so most people will understand dogs pee on things, right? So when they walk in and they get scared, and then the groomer goes over to pick up that cleaner, if they use one of these cleaners in a spray bottle, they spray the area and they mop it up with a paper towel, or they use a mop, there may be residue left behind, because more than likely they're not going to go back over the same area with some clean water and do it again. So when that one dog goes in, great, they didn't get affected by it. But when the next dog comes in, they may be tracking through that. And what happens is when they go in the back and they sit in a kennel or on the grooming table, they may lick their feet, they may wipe their eyes, they may scratch their ears or scratch any part, or just, like I said, lick their feet. And what does that do? They're ingesting part of these products, and they may be very dilute. But what happens is they do this enough times, and it really starts to build up in their system. So we just have to be very cautious about what we use on and around our animals. So this also takes into effect anything we spray in the air, because everything that goes in the air comes down on our pets. And this is one of those things I realized one day, and I was like, wow, all those scented things that I'm spraying in the air, that could actually be causing some issues, respiratory issues. It could be causing a lot of their skin issues because they like to hang out right near my feet. And this is just in my home, but also in a grooming shop. I was in two different grooming shops before I started my own, and I did notice a lot of grooming shops, vets, doctors' offices, they all have these spray bottles, and they use them because it actually says kills colds and flus and viruses. It's 99.9% effective against bacteria. It's a disinfectant spray. It sounds amazing, right? So what happens is when they read the front of the bottle, it sounds amazing. I'm going to bring it home, right? It's in a nice, pretty color. It has rainforest fresh or apple blossom or all these different scents. And what they didn't realize is the back, because the back is loaded, teeny tiny print. It says warning, hazardous to humans and domestic animals. That right there should be a reason not to take it off the shelf, okay? The EPA actually classifies it as a pesticide, okay? And that makes people sick, including animals. So most customers really rarely understand clearly what that means. So they just use it randomly and spray it in small areas, large areas, around infants, children's, puppies, all different things. And what happens is in low doses and constant exposure, those can add up to big, serious health effects. So, like I said, the proper use of this is not followed. If you read the back, there are very strict ways to use it, and if you don't follow it exactly, you can be doing harm to everybody in your environment. And in a grooming environment, you could be spraying this into a kennel, and the next dog over can be exposed to it. You can be spraying it on a hard surface and a dog licks it. So we really don't want to be having this anywhere where it can be absorbed into the skin or licked and ingested. So the next thing people use a lot of in grooming facilities and in their homes are those plug-ins. And I want to get to the nasty truth about them. And I don't know if you realize it, but there was a study done by the National Resources Defense Council, and there was 12 out of the 14 of these plugins tested. No name brand, I cover that up because I'm not picking on anybody, but they tested positive for phthalates, okay? And those phthalates are not good for you. They are so bad. And these little plugins can do a lot of damage. I've seen so many people come to me and say, Heather, I get this constant headache. And these are my dog grooming parents. They're like, I just got this headache. It won't go away. And I'll look around because I was mobile and I'd be in their home. So I'd look around and I'd see all these plugins. I'm like, when did that start to happen? What kind of plugins are you using, or what kind of deodorizers? And the more questions I asked, these headaches were corresponding whenever they would change out those plugins. And that's pretty scary that you can buy these right on the shelf. There's probably no warning on them whatsoever. I've never bought one, so I don't know if there's a warning on them. And you're not really deodorizing your home. You're re-odorizing your home, meaning you're adding the scent of these on top of the wet dog or the cat smell or whatever it may be. So your dog grooming space may smell like wet dog in a rainforest, or cinnamon apple wet dog, or anything with wet dog, because you can't hide it. It just stinks. But those phthalates, right? Those phthalates really mess with your brain. They mess with your endocrine system. They mess with so many things. I can give you one story. I walked into a friend's home who I was grooming their dog, and he's an oncologist. And I noticed these plugins, and he had, told me that the dog had a tumor in its mouth. And when I looked at the dog, because it was sitting on its bed, and the bed had one of these plugins right over it. The dog stood up, and that plug-in lined up exactly to where the tumor was in the dog's mouth. Now, I don't know if one had to do with the other. It was just one of those coincidences, I guess. But I asked the mom to move that plug-in, and she did. Because she's like, oh, I see what you're saying. It is right next to there. But I love the smell of the beach. And I looked around like, this doesn't smell like the beach, but okay, I could see what she's trying to say. But when I came back, she had it plugged in over the bananas. So she didn't change the situation. She just moved it away from the dog's bed. So good or bad? I don't know. It's not something I really want to be around. So the other thing I want everybody to think about is the shampoos that you're using and that you're using on your dogs. Now there's professional shampoos and then there's home shampoos. A lot of times there's not much difference, but the professional shampoos, there's often a lot of different kinds, like a lot of different um, different different kinds you can pick from. Like I don't know what I'm looking for right here, but looking at this picture, you can see the top picture. That's what a lot of people think we do as dog groomers. We're just bathing these fluffy puppies, and they're so happy, they're so content, they're giving us these lovey eyes, and they give us kisses. But in reality, they don't want to go in the tub. They do not like a bath. They do not like the blow dryer. So we are not only trying to bathe these dogs, we're trying to give them a haircut, and we are trying to do this as quick as possible. But when you look at these shampoos, and this is probably just an example, again, I'm not picking on anybody, but I want to show you how to label read. And I hope to send you home with some confidence in label reading. So this is a tale of two labels. This is a home version of a shampoo. And I just like the coloring, and a lot of people buy things based on coloring. And the label actually says Groomer's Best. Sounds awesome. That sounds like a recommendation. A nice, cute little golden puppy. It says tearless. Well, I don't want my dog to cry. Extra gentle. Well, it's my dog. I want it to be like happy. I don't want it to be roughed up. Puppy shampoo. That's awesome. I'm buying that. It looks really nice. There's little beads in there. That must be so awesome. When you turn this over and you actually read it, you're going to see the ingredients list on there. And I don't know if you know it or not, but the Food and Drug Administration, okay, none of these cosmetics, because this is what this falls into, none of them have to prove any of the claims on their labels. Not one of them. They do not have to prove it. So they can put anything on the front of those products. It's all good. Nobody's going to check on it. So if you look at this ingredients, I'm not going to go through them all, but many of those ingredients are known irritants, and they know that they have formaldehyde components. That's not cool, okay? So you can read down here this PEG 80, sorbitan laurate, and sodium lauryl sulfate, SLS, right? So they all have this, I cannot say this word, oxalate compound. So they all have this compound, right? And unless they're actually stripped of that, they're contaminated with the 1,4-dioxane. And that has been identified as a possible, probable human carcinogen by the EPA, okay? It is not listed, that 1,4-dioxane, on the label because it's considered a contaminant from the manufacturing process. It wasn't actually added to it. So all that taken together, when you look at this product, it doesn't look so friendly and so gentle anymore to me. And then you look at that last ingredient, violet 2. If this was made from a natural substance, they'd be very proud of it and say that this was made from, beet root or something like that to give it a color. But they're just putting it right on there. Violet 2. They added purple dye to the shampoo. What does that got to do with cleaning a dog? I don't know, but it's in there. Let's jump right in to professional groomers. So again, I'm not picking on anybody. I just was able to find these graphics, blur them out a little bit so you're not exactly sure who it is unless you know some of these shampoos. And there's so many choices. This company has a whole bunch of products, and they're pretty expensive. Now, when you look at what's in this, and that's going to be on my next slide, these are known harmful ingredients, but they are being sold in these big bottles to groomers at groomer shows. And literally, you can walk into these groomer shows, and you can see multiple distributors, vendors, selling all different kinds of shampoos, big bottles, little bottles, natural this, natural that. The word natural is on a lot of things. So again, we already talked about reading the front and the back. So this kind of plays along with it. And this is going to be probably the scariest thing I show you, this next page. This is some of those shampoos that they sell. So if you look here at the Botanical Royal, that sounds amazing, right? It's a botanical, it's royal. gotta be fit for a princess, and that's what my dog is. So it's loaded with things that are the cheap surfactants. That's the SLS that we talked about on the other page. It's a known eye irritant. It's linked to cancer, skin irritant, skin and eye, not just one, we got two on there. And it's an endocrine disruptor. Organ toxicity. There's only a certain point. Like, you keep adding a little bit to the bucket, and it fills and fills and fills. When it fills up, it's going to tip over. And that's where your health or your dog's health may go downhill. And what's so important about this is not only are you washing everybody's dogs in this, but you're touching this repeatedly throughout the day, every single day. And you're not taking care of the health that your body wants. So these products are being absorbed through your skin, through your hands, or you might get some in your face or your eye and stuff like that. So another thing on here is, let's see, the Royal Botanical also has dye. And when you look up the definition of dye, it's almost always man-made. And then, like, again, if they were doing red and they said it was from beetroot, they would say beetroot. And then it's something like coloring or something like that. But when they're man-made, they're most often coming from petrochemicals. Not cool, again, especially if you're touching it every day. So I'm going to go down to the bottom, this hypoallergenic tearless. This is scary. This is probably the scariest one. So it looks like, oh, there's not a lot of ingredients. It must be really good. Well, not only does it have water, that's probably fine, but it's also got the ammonium lauryl sulfate and the sodium lauryl sulfate. So the ammonium lauryl sulfate is kind of the same as SLS. So you have it in there twice. You're getting twice as many irritants to the eyes and skin, twice as many endocrine disruptors, and this is the tearless. So there's probably something else in there that is making it so you don't feel the tears. I wasn't going to investigate every single one because I was getting a little scared by this. Not going to lie. We're going to go back to the super concentrate, and that has urea. So that really increases your risk for contact dermatitis, and it has been shown to release formaldehyde. It's a carcinogen. Why would you risk it if there's a known carcinogen in your shampoo that you're touching every single day? Is that really something that you want to, like, hang out with? I wouldn't. So, and I did. There was a time I was using this because I didn't know this. I did not understand this. So when you know better, you can do better, right? So it actually slows the moisture loss, which that sounds really cool, right? Keep the skin moist and the hair moist. You want to keep that, seal it in, right? So it really can slightly alter the skin's structure. That doesn't sound cool to me. So it possibly allows other chemicals to penetrate deeper into the skin. So that to me seems like that urea, it's grabbing some of those other toxic properties of other things and bringing it deeper into the skin, which means that it's going deeper into your body and creating things that you just don't want to have happen. So let's go down to fragrance, and you guys here probably all know this, but it can consist of up to 200 chemicals, and they don't have to tell you what they are. It can be considered like proprietary blends. So fragrances often cause headaches, dizziness, skin irritations, rashes, and in 1986, reported on the National Academy of Science, noticed that 95% of chemicals used in synthetic fragrances are derived from petroleum. Do you see, we mentioned petroleum before. And many other known toxic chemicals linked to cancer, birth defects, central nervous system disorders, and allergic reactions. Again, this is all stuff we're using every single day on our hands. It could be irritating our eyes. It could be doing this for the dogs too. So I want to watch out for you, and I want you to understand what you're doing with your clients' dogs. So there was another study in 2001 from the EPA, and they found that the synthetic fragrances were often shown to contain hormone disruptors linked to abnormal cell reproduction. Now, I can't really say what that is, but read between the line. If you're exposing yourself constantly to these fragrances, which are known to disrupt your hormones and cause abnormal cell reproduction, don't do it. Read your labels. Okay, quickly. Perfume spritzes, leaves on, quick dries. So as a groomer, everything is about time. everything, you base your day based on how long it's going to take you to do a groom. So when you have a bigger dog, oftentimes you get this awesome spray. I always thought it was awesome to spray the dog down with when they're right out of the tub, towel dry them, spray them down, and you rub it in. And then you take your force dryer and you, what we call force dry, because I never cage dried, you force dry. So it's vaporizing all the water off of the dog, pulling it away from the skin. It's also pulling the hair that's, the loose hair off and just kind of like snowing, right? So, we get it hanging from our face. What I never realized, and when I put this piece together, I honestly, to myself, I was like, everybody needs to see this. When you're vaporizing something, you're breathing it in every single day. It's going up to your brain and down into your lungs. It's going on your skin. It's going in your eyes. It's all over you. It's being absorbed into your body. Perfumes. You're spraying that on a dog. It is a fragrance that we talked about. Remember we talked about the fragrance and how bad it is for you? These fragrances, we're spraying it on the dogs and sending them home. And oftentimes some of these fragrances cost upwards of $75. Yes, even for dogs, they cost that much. It's scary. So when we have these dogs on our table, it is our responsibility to make sure we are not causing any harm. They are put in our care to take care of, right? Sometimes they come in bad shape, but we do what we can and we do not expose them to any chemicals in our shop. So I'm going to ask you, what products do you use? Take a note, just write them down. I don't need to hear it right now. So back in 2012, I went toxin free. When you know better, you can do better. So that's my dog grooming van. Right now it's off the road because I've basically retired myself from it, but it was in an accident in a brake line and a whole bunch of things happened. So it sits in my house and I actually still groom, but I only groom a few dogs a month. And there I am teaching people how to ditch the toxins, get them out of their home, and have a home filled with wellness. So we're going to talk about how Young Living essential oils can change everything about your grooming and your wellness. So right here I have a picture of Sadie and this little Bichon named Bishi. So original. Sadie is a full-coated long-haired Pekingese, not a show groomer. I do not show groom. She is probably my fanciest dog with the longest hair. Like I said, I'm not doing a lot right now. But we use the Animal Sun shampoo on Sadie. Sadie's hair around her neck mats up. She gets groomed about every 4 to 6 weeks, depends on how her mom can do this. And Bishi down there, he is always smelling like smoke and always yellow. And normally, if I was shopping for shampoo, I was going to need something that has conditioner or something for long coated or something for shedding. And that's what I would use on Sadie, but I don't need to do that. When I discovered Young Living, they had this Animal Scent shampoo. Oh my God, everything changed. I only need one shampoo. I only need one conditioner. And yes, this is my conditioner that I heavily dilute. Each dog, even Sadie, I probably use a ribbon about that long on my finger, and I put it in about 25 ounces of water, and I shake it up really, really good. I wash the dog first with the Animal Scent shampoo, and I use a recirculating pump, so it has a little bit of pressure, and it really helps remove the debris and everything from close to the skin. And then I take a rinse bottle and I squirt it over the top of them, massage it in, give it about 30 seconds. I don't have time to wait. And I rinse it off. And then I rinse her, put her on the table, and blow dry her. I do not add anything to her coat after that. And she is plenty conditioned, and all the knots come out with a little bit of help. Now, Bishi down in the bottom, like I said, he always smells like smoke. So I found a hack for this. We're going to talk about that later. But I'm going to tell you, these dogs with the white coats, you don't need a whitener or a brightener or, all this kind of stuff. Use Young Living Animal Scent shampoo. It really does do everything. My dogs are black. I use that on them too. And I have another dog that's like white with brindle. I use the same thing on him. It works perfect. Okay, so we can supercharge our shampoos. That's the awesome part of Young Living. All of these essential oils are designed for topical application. And what I'm going to do is actually add it to the shampoo for the bath. Now, it's just called supercharging your shampoo. It's just an upgrade. So you can either upcharge for it or just kind of specialize your shampoo. So you only need one shampoo. Remember little Bishi? We're talking about how you always smelled like smoke. And as a groomer, when you get these dogs, you can wash them and wash them and wash them, and they still smell like smoke, even with these deodorizing shampoos. So what I discovered was wash them with Animal Sense, and you take the purification, and you put 2-3 drops in about 25 ounces of water, shake it up really good, and you just squirt it on them. And then you rub it in, minute, maybe 30 seconds, rub it in, then get the hose, rinse them down, and then towel dry them and start drying them. Again, you're not adding anything to the coat, and these dogs do not smell. It's awesome. And it's also really good just to put a little bit on your hands when they're done and ready to go into the house. I like to put 1 drop on my hand, rub it in really good, and I just go from their neck down around their back and through their tail. And when they go in wagging their tail because they're so happy to be done in 45 minutes, all they're doing is like they're actually creating their own diffuser, so to say. So that lovely the spa smell that comes from purification from the lemongrass, it's intoxicating. People love it. The next thing I use to supercharge your shampoo is copaiba. Now that is so good for your skin. It's just nourishing. It's just awesome. It's great to just rub on, right? So I add it to the shampoo just to boost it a little bit more. It makes everything better, right? It's the amplifier. So again, a little bit of shampoo, and on small dogs, I'm using like maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon, maybe not, just a little squirt. Again, recirculating so things go a little bit further. Stress Away to the shampoo, that does pretty much what it says. Most dogs I groom, I use Stress Away. It just relaxes them in the tub. So doesn't the lavender. Again, it's just another form of aromatherapy because I'm adding it to the shampoo and we're just smelling it. They're nourishing their skin. Sometimes I add the lavender with the Stress Away, and that together is some of my older dogs, they kind of just forget about the grooming thing and they forget that they used to like it, and they kind of get a little senile, and I kind of like try to find ways to soothe them besides going really fast. So lavender, Stress Away, they're all great just for soothing and calming. Now, the other 2 I like to use are the Animal Sense line, Infectaway and Mendwell. Adding those to the shampoo are just so good for the skin. They're designed for animals, so you put a little drop, 1 to 2, with the Animal Sense and add it to the shampoo, and it really does what the names say. So if you have a dog with skin that just needs a little bit more attention, then this might be a good choice for you. Now, never do I just take these essential oils and apply them to any dog's open wounds or any kind of skin issues that they may be having. I'll talk it over with the parents, but I will not be using my products to treat a dog's condition. I will add them to the shampoo for soothing bath time enjoyment. Okay, air quality control. We go back to this. In a grooming shop, you have a lot of odors to contend with. The towels could smell, the dogs could smell, somebody could have peed on something, somebody could have had an accident in a kennel, somebody could have had an accident in the tub, somebody could come in smelling like smoke. But you don't want when somebody comes in through the door to have their first reaction being, oh my God, it smells like, I don't know, stinky dogs covered in applesauce or something, like you just don't want that. So what we like to do in our van or any grooming shop that I'm working with is have a diffuser running. And yes, Young Living essential oils are safe to diffuse around cats. I don't have a list of oils to avoid. I have no problem with it. We keep to the basics though. In my grooming shop, those oils that we had back there, those 4 that we talked about, the purification, copaiba, Stress Away, and lavender, that's pretty much what I diffuse. In my van, because I don't have a lot of space, the shelves are only about this big. They're not super wide, so I use one of these handheld diffusers, and you can actually just spray the air with it. You can lay it on the shelf, lay it on the table, lay it on the tub, and just let it diffuse into the air. You're, again, still using water and oils. Works awesome together. It is so safe. It's like bringing nature onto the inside of your grooming shop. So when people come in, they're always like, wow, it smells really good. And my best compliment is, it doesn't smell like anything in here. Well, that's awesome. Then there's nothing's going on, right? So, like I said, back to the diffusing, what are our favorites? Stress Away. So soothing. Purification, awesome for odors. That lemongrass is just amazing. Makes your Dog grooming salons smell like a spa. Peace and calming. Oh my gosh. So peace and calming has to be the most comforting blend to animals that I know in a grooming shop. We did a test once. We brought our diffuser to a kennel, not a grooming shop, a kennel. And after about 90 minutes of diffusing peace and calming, the dogs went from a very high voice of barking to one dog barking. There was probably 15 or so dogs there, big dogs, little dogs. And after 90 minutes, we had one little dog barking. That was it. The dogs, even when you walked around the corner, they just looked at you like, hey. So if you could have peace and calming going in your grooming shop, you're not going to get the crazy one dog barks and they all bark kind of thing. You just kind of have it quiet, and that's awesome. Now, Valor. Valor, I don't always diffuse. I put the Valor on my wrist, rub it together. I'll do the same for Stress Away, even the two of them together for the dogs that are a little bit more nervous about leaving mom and dad. So I'll put that on just to give them a little courage, because I'm not going to put it on the dogs because that's not my dogs, but I'll put it on myself. Calms me, keeps me very cool and collective, and it also gives me courage to face some of these dogs. And when the dogs breathe it in, because I might be holding their head or going, brushing by their face, they smell it. They can smell it as soon as I open it. So a little bit goes a long way. You don't need to use a lot. Remember that. You do not need to use a lot. So a real big problem in grooming shops are towels. So they're sitting in a moist environment and they'll absorb smells from the room. So we want to really make sure we're diffusing, right? Towels, some groomers will let them dry overnight and then use them again the next day. I don't find that really cool because when they dry, they often smell misty, moldy, kind of not cool, right? So I wash them actually in the Thieves laundry soap. Add a little Epsom salts, a little vinegar. The vinegar is for some little extra power, right? And it's so easy, cost effective, and fresh. I don't need to buy all these heavy scented products because I have stuff that's going to make my towels not smell like anything, and that's what I want. If you want to burst them up a little bit with some extra scent, you put some peppermint on some dryer balls there, and that may leave a little scent, but I like my towels with no scent, and it's so cost effective. It's 64 high efficiency laundry loads, and honestly, I probably get way more than that. So how do you keep it clean? Use this in the home too. Our Thieves household cleaner. Now, these little guys, their health is in our hands. People and pet safe, people all ages. It's cost effective. That bottle is 14 ounces and it makes 14 25-ounce bottles. And that cleans everything, really. Everything. We use it on the floor. If my dogs pee on the floor, or my grooming clients, I have one dog pees every single time it comes in. I know it, and it still pees. I try to put a towel down, and it walks past the towel and steps on the floor and pees. So I wipe it up, spray it down with the Thieves cleaner, and we call it good. There's no need to go back over it with water because it's not going to do any harm. A dog can lick this. A dog can scratch its ear or scratch its face with it, and it's not going to do any harm, right? It's an odor stopper, not an odor cover-upper. It works on every single surface in a grooming shop. Every one. There's not one I don't use. You can wash the windows, you can do your tubs, your stainless steel tubs, your grooming table, you can do the floor, you can do everything, the countertops, the phones, your phone. We wash our phones with it. We just spritz our phone and wipe it down. It doesn't do any harm. It only does good. Insect repellent. So the cool thing about this is people are always asking me, what do you use for, instead of using top spot stuff? And I'm not going to compare, but what I'm going to say is those top spot things are neurotoxins and insecticides. I don't want to be near that stuff. So last year, Young Living launched the most amazing product ever. A little bit goes a long way, and it was tested to repel fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes. I feel very confident in using this product, this DEET-free 100% plant-based formula, on and around my animals. A little bit I put in my hands, I rub it together, and I go over my pets from the back of their neck, down their body, and then I just wipe around their face. Do I do this for grooming clients? Yes. because this you can actually use, and I use at this time of year in the spring and the fall and the summer. It's actually, you can use it as a scented perfume also, because the lemongrass, citronella, they smell fresh and clean. And you're sending them home ready to go to the backyard or go for a walk and not have any of those little junk bugs fly around them or jump on them, right? So it's really, really preparing these animals for success. And that's what we want to do. And this is an insect repellent. One thing that, again, we just launched this product, the Seedlings Baby Wipes, and it's not just for babies' bottoms. Our dogs, right? They have backsides too. They have muddy paws. I can actually use this to wipe their ears, their face, their tears, and you can use it to wash down smooth, hard surfaces. A lot of grooming shops, we got hair everywhere. Remember talking about blowing out those Goldens? There's a lot of hair. Use it on yourself after you wash your dog. You know, you can use the same product on your face if you got a little bit of debris from a dirty dog, or, you know, something goes wrong with that back end. Things happen back there, right? So these Seedlings, you can do everything. You can use it on yourself, you can use it on the dog, and like I said, not just for babies' bottoms. Most groomers have hands, okay? And these things are abused. We talked about in the past, there might have been some choices made that may have dried out hands and stuff like that. But when you grab the lavender hand and body lotion that Young Living has, it is so nourishing. It's one of my favorite products. I use all the time. A little bit goes a long, long, long way. And it's very soothing. It's not the kind of product that has all the petrochemicals in it that just sits in your skin, in your creases. And the thing is, these are pet safe. So if a dog licks you, they're not ingesting poisons, okay? You're, again, being trusted with somebody else's family. So you don't want to knowingly expose them to anything, like any of those scented things from the Bath and Body Shop. The same thing holds hand with our waterless hand purifier. Now that has been denatured, all the alcohol in it, so it is pet friendly. We are not intoxicating them because their hair is like little straws, so it will suck in any of the products that we put on it. So not only is it exposing us, you know, we're doing a good thing for them. So when we touch the dogs, we're not transmitting diseases from dog to dog. This waterless hand purifier, absolutely love it. And that big bottle, that lasts a really long time. And you only need a little tiny bit. And you just rub it in, and it's great because it purifies, it cleans. And then you can use your lavender lotion to moisturize and to hydrate, because the hand purifier doesn't dry your hands, but it doesn't moisturize it too much. But it's a lot more moisturizing than anything else on the market. The lavender foaming hand soap. Now that is awesome. This is a little bit of hack that I have here. Not only is it awesome for washing your hands, and if your clients discover this in their bathroom, they're going to ask you, what is this Young Living thing? Because that smells amazing. The Thieves one is really good for that too. But if you have a dog that's very sensitive and they don't really want the water on their face, I will wet their face, you know, with a towel or something, or just my hands, and I'll take a little bit of the foaming hand soap and just do a little washing on their face. It's very gentle, and they seem to not really mind it too much. So again, now it's your turn. What's in your tub? What's underneath your counter? What is on your counter? What kind of lotions are you using? What kind of hand cleaners are you using? Look around your grooming shop. Look around your home. Take inventory. See what's going on, right? Make a list. If you're ready to upgrade your products, when you know better, you can do better. It makes things so much easier. When you have one-stop shopping and you don't have to worry about the quality, because you know Young Living has your back and they pick the highest quality of everything that they use in every one of their products. So, you know, having this little puppy here with all those soap, I don't want all those scents. You know, I just want low soap. It just helps remove it. And a lot of our products have coconut oil, which is really, really good and really nourishing for the skin. So not only does these products from Young Living save you time, they save you money, you can refer and earn more money. So who wouldn't like to earn another check just from referring the products that you use in your grooming shop to your clients that already love how their dogs smell? You refer them, you help them change their life for their dogs at home and for them, because they can share some of these products or most of these products, and you can actually still earn income from it and help them, right? So it's all about sharing these top quality products with others and finding a way to help others live a well life. So keeping it simple. How easy is it to have one shampoo, one conditioner, one lotion, one cleaner, rather than all these assortments? You know, I don't need a tabletop scrub. I don't need a window wash. I don't need a floor cleaner. I use my thieves cleaner for everything and more. So I made a quick little shopping list for y'all because I know I talk really fast, but I want to make sure you got all this information. You're going to want to make sure you have these products in your house. So the Thieves laundry soap, you're going to need that in the house and in your grooming supply closet, whatever. The Desert Mist diffuser and or a handheld. I love the Desert Mist because it's very forgiving. When it falls on the floor, it usually bounces back up. It has a 1-year warranty, but only if used properly, not if misused. The Thieves household cleaner, everything, does everything. The Animal Sense shampoo, I talked about that many times over. You can add extra oils to it, but this stuff does everything. The Seedlings baby wipe, again, you can use that for everything. You can use it on yourself, but I suggest you don't share one with the dog, unless it's your dog maybe. But you can use it to wipe their face, take care of their baby wipe area. And it's also really good wherever there's wrinkles. I did find, I forgot to tell you this, I use it on my pug's nose. He gets very wrinkly. He's always got his face in the dirt and sniffing on things. Cleaning out that pug wrinkle under his eyes and over his nose, it's really, really good for it. And I find that the lavender and all the oils that are in it is really, again, nourishing for his skin. So what else? We got oils of peace and calming. How could you not want that? Valor for courage, purification for odors, lavender, it's just very soothing. Stress away, again, name says it all. The lavender lotion, you got to have that for your hands. And the Thieves hand purifier. So we need to take care of our hands, we need to take care of our brains, we need to take care of our lungs. So we also need to do that for our animals. Our animals come in for us to take care of them. These are our children, these are other people's children. So having the best, the happiest, the most wellness conducive room for them to be in while we're grooming them is always good. They want to come back for more. They'll come back wagging their tail. Not all of them. Some of them will never, never, ever like it. But let's set ourselves up for success. Okay, so thank you so much. I'm here and can answer any questions that you have. So have an awesome day. And again, thank you so much.